The Grand Tour season starts with a trip to Italy and the Giro d'Italia. For the 12th time in its history, the race will start outside the country with 3 days in the Netherlands. With the first of the Italian stages a long trip south, the riders will get an additional rest day to make the journey. There's a strong list of riders set to line up in Apeldoorn on May 6th, including a number of big-name debutants. Here are Cycling News' 10 riders to watch for the 2016 Giro d'Italia. After a 3-year absence, Vincenzo Nibali returns to the Giro d'Italia. Nibali's last appearance was in 2013, when he won 3 stages and went on to take the overall classification by almost 5 minutes over Rigoberto Urán. Nibali's season started well with overall victory at the Tour of Oman, but his form faltered at the recent Giro del Trentino. However, it shouldn't concern him too much yet, and he still has time to relocate that form before the most important Giro stages. Nibali will have the support of key riders such as Jakob Fuglsang and Mikel Scarponi. Mikel Landa is the only rider from last year's podium to make the start line this year. Landa looked the strongest member of his team last season, but had to put his own ambitions aside and play the domestique role for Fabio Aru. This year he comes back to lead Team Sky. The Spaniard's debut in Sky colours came later than expected, after first choosing to focus on his time trial training and later falling sick. He's been making up for lost time, however, taking a hard-fought victory and a stage win at the Giro del Trentino. Rigoberto Urán is also lining up with a new team, Cannondale. The Giro d'Italia has been good to Urán in the past, with second places in 2013 and 2014, and this year he's keen to go one better. The Colombian appears to have settled in well with the American squad and will have some strong support in the likes of Joe Dombrowski and Simon Clarke. He's been quiet so far this season, but showed signs of coming into form with 10th at the Volta a Catalonia before heading to Tenerife for an altitude training camp. Esteban Chaves has been one of the rising stars of Grand Tour racing in recent years. His irrepressible nature makes him a crowd favourite too. Chaves returned to professional racing in 2014 after a career-threatening injury and immediately made an impression with his performances. Last season proved to be a breakthrough, with 2 stage wins at the Vuelta a España and a stint in the red jersey. Orica Greenedge has resisted from racing him too much this season, with only 16 days of racing in his legs as he heads into the Giro d'Italia. Dumoulin was one of several big names taking on the Giro d'Italia for the first time. The Dutchman was attracted by the 3 time trials that feature this season. Dumoulin made his breakthrough as a general classification rider at last year's Vuelta a España, a surprise for himself and the team. He spent 6 days in the leader's jersey and won 2 stages, including the individual time trial. He'll want to make a mark on the Giro d'Italia with a strong performance in the opening team test against the clock. It's not all GC men in this list, and Adam Hansen will be one to watch in the lumpy stages. Hansen's appearance will continue his record-breaking run of Grand Tour rides as his 14th consecutive 3-week race. The Australian will not just be there to make up the numbers, and with Stage 5 coming on his 35th birthday, it could be a good day for him. Hansen's only stage win at the Giro came the day before his birthday in 2013. He'll have to play the team game also, with Andre Greipel hunting out the sprint stages. Going up against Andre Greipel in the sprints will be fellow German Marcel Kittel. Kittel made one previous appearance in the Giro in 2014, when the race started in Northern Ireland. He took 2 stage wins before calling it quits ahead of Stage 4. After a torrid 2015 season, the start to Kittel's time with Etixx Quick-Step has gone really well, with Skill de Price's 6th victory of the year. Italians Fabio Sabatini and Matteo Trentin will be there to support him, with Trentin a potential stage winner in the hillier of days. After racking up 13 Grand Tour stages in his career, Alejandro Valverde will be looking to add his first at the Giro d'Italia. It's his first ride at the race, and he'll also have designs on the general classification. It's hard to see him snatching victory from the likes of Landa and Nibali, but a podium place is a realistic target. Valverde has notched up overall wins at the Ruta del Sol and Vuelta Castilla y León, and claimed a record 4th at Flèche Wallonne, but missed the mark when it came to Liège-Bastogne-Liège. With defending champion Alberto Contador focusing on this year's Tour de France, it's Rafał Micah that will lead the way for the Tinkoff team. It was the Giro d'Italia that first showed off Micah's potential as a Grand Tour contender, when he finished 7th in 2013. He came back to take 6th the following year. Last season, Micah took his first Grand Tour podium with an emotional 3rd place at the Vuelta a España. He's an aggressive rider and could cause a lot of headaches for the other GC contenders. Riding in his final season as a professional, Fabian Cancellara is having one last crack at the Giro d'Italia. Like Dumoulin, he was attracted by the time trial heavy route and the opportunity of adding the Maglia Rosa to his collection of leaders' jerseys. Surprising considering his illustrious Palmares, a Giro stage victory is also missing for the Swiss man. After a strong start to the year, Cancellara had a rocky classic season, was second at the Tour of Flanders before a heavy crash put him out of contention at Paris-Roubaix.